Hey adrenaline junkies, welcome to Police Chase. Today, we're launching a brand new series, When People Mess with the Wrong Cops. Every reckless decision sparks an immediate response, and justice wastes no time. Let's dive in. Little Rock, Arkansas. On the 31st of July 2026, Trooper J. Booth stopped a white Kia Optima after it was seen driving erratically on I-30. As Booth approaches the driver, the situation changes when the Kia suddenly accelerates away.
Evening. Alright, if you take police, so the reason I'm stopping you, fail to maintain your lane, alright? Turn the car off for me. What took you so long to pull over? Huh? What do you mean? Yeah.
The Kia enters I-630 and quickly exceeds 100 miles per hour, using the shoulder and weaving around traffic. At this point, the pursuit becomes a significant public safety threat, requiring the trooper to balance continued contact against traffic conditions.
White Kia Optima 987
CFS comments added.
We are coming up to
CFS comments added.
After leaving the interstate, the driver begins crossing into opposing lanes and running red lights on Cantrell Road. With the risk of a head-on collision increasing, Booth waits for an opening to safely intervene.
traffic light. We are at 90 right now.
CFS comments added.
LGO.
CFS comments added.
Near the 1836 Club, Booth makes contact with the Kia's rear quarter panel, initiating a TVI to end the pursuit.
TVI.
CFS.
Roll over ejection. Start at 10:15.
1420.
We're gonna be at the look like a private
CFS
club.
comments added.
The Kia rotates, strikes the retaining wall, and overturns. Patrick Johns was ejected and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators also recovered a loaded handgun and suspected marijuana from the wreckage. Authorities said Johns faces charges including fleeing, unauthorized use of a vehicle, criminal mischief, possession of a controlled substance, driving left of center, no seatbelt, and an open container of alcohol. His age was not provided in the supplied information. Moses Lake, Washington. On the 4th of May, 2024, around 8:20 p.m., officers responded to a domestic disturbance at a Motel 6 after a woman reported that a man had threatened her with a firearm. Officers approach room 125, knowing an armed suspect may still be inside.
Come out with your hands empty, please.
Sorry, what?
Come out with your hands empty, please. Come to the door. Just got to chat with you, see what's going on. Okay.
Why were the police called?
Can you keep your hands visible for me? Other hand, please.
No, why? I like to know the doctor. No.
Do you have a gun, sir?
I'm sorry, what?
We got to report that there was an assault here. Can you come over here?
There was no assault.
Okay. All right. Can you talk to my officer here? Can you show me other hand, sir?
No.
Just so I'm safe?
No.
Okay.
Stockton then tells officers he has multiple guns and one is in his hand. Sergeant Monroe moves behind the engine block, using the patrol vehicle as hard cover, while officers attempt to contain the armed subject.
Back this way. Back up. Hold on, I'm not the area. Put the gun.
I'm out unarmed, they gonna shoot me.
No, I'm not. If you come out unarmed,
How can I believe you?
I give you my word, sir. I have
Trust your fucking
I have a body camera that's recorded audio and visually, sir. I don't want to hurt you. I promise you, sir. I do not want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt anybody. Please come out unarmed. Yeah, I don't care about your warrant.
What?
I don't care about your warrants. I care about your safety and my safety. So please come out unarmed, sir. Okay? I give you my word. I've got a wife and 3 kids, man. It's the last thing I want to do.
The standoff abruptly becomes an active shooting when Stockton steps from the doorway and fires toward the officers. Monroe returns fire while moving laterally toward additional cover. This transition is based on an immediate lethal threat, not simply the suspect's possession of a firearm.
You good? You good?
After the exchange, Monroe checks on his partner and reports that he has been shot in the foot while Stockton remains injured inside the scene. Stockton, 37, was taken into custody and treated at a hospital before being jailed in Grant County. He faces 3 counts of first-degree assault, 1 count of second-degree assault, and unlawful possession of a firearm.
He just wrecked out into a building.
Biscoe, Arkansas, the 19th of June 2026, around 12:51 p. An Arkansas State Police trooper spots a white Ford F-150 traveling erratically near US Highway 70. The truck soon leaves the roadway and accelerates into a residential area. The driver turns into the neighborhood, crosses off-road terrain, and continues accelerating. Moments later, the truck crashes into a backyard shed, collapsing the structure and bringing the pursuit to an abrupt stop.
Boy, David Young, 88 Edward, running into the main street in Biscoe, running behind the trailer house. He just wrecked out into a building. He's still trying to go. Hands! Let me see your hands! Felony takedown.
With the truck disabled, the trooper takes cover and repeatedly orders the driver to show his hands and shut off the vehicle. Even after identifying himself as Dwayne Jones, he claims he cannot get out and continues reaching into the center console, preventing officers from safely approaching. Backup arrives, and officers move to the passenger side, ordering Jones to unlock the door. When he does not comply, they physically extract him from the truck, secure him in handcuffs, and accommodate his reported mobility problem with a walker. Officers then locate suspected drug paraphernalia near the truck and document the crash scene, while evidence inside and near the vehicle includes approximately 30 grams of suspected methamphetamine and a digital scale. Dwayne Jones, 58, was taken to the Prairie County Detention Center and faces charges including felony fleeing in a vehicle, first-degree criminal mischief, 3 counts of felony possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of methamphetamine or cocaine with purpose to deliver, tampering with physical evidence, driving left of center, violation of a driver's license restriction, speeding more than 15 miles per hour over the limit, and reckless driving. Truman, Arkansas, the 5th of August, 2026, around 6:56 p.m., Arkansas State Police Trooper Logan Hall attempts to stop a Hyundai Sonata traveling about 90 miles per hour in a 75 mph zone. Instead of stopping, the driver accelerates and continues north toward Truman. The Sonata reaches roughly 130 miles per hour, passing traffic and using the shoulder to get around other vehicles. As the pursuit moves toward a more populated stretch, the trooper positions for a tactical intervention. Near the 28-mile marker, Hall makes contact with the Sonata's rear quarter panel. The Hyundai loses control, crosses into opposing lanes, and collides with an uninvolved vehicle before the SUV leaves the highway and overturns.
Jonesboro, we got a rollover. Send me 1016. Get out of the car!
moves toward the wreckage with his weapon drawn, while officers secure the fleeing driver and begin assessing the crash scene. Their focus then shifts to the occupants trapped inside the overturned vehicle as officers establish communication and begin medical triage. In custody, the driver identifies himself as 32-year-old Lloyd L. Hamilton III and claims he was fleeing because his daughter was having a heart attack. Firefighters arrive with heavy rescue equipment as the two occupants of the overturned SUV are extricated and later flown to Memphis for treatment. Hamilton was later medically cleared and taken to the Poinsett County Detention Center, facing charges including felony fleeing, second-degree battery, second-degree criminal mischief, possession with purpose to deliver a Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance, possession of a Schedule 6 controlled substance, driving while intoxicated, and hazardous driving. Marion County, Florida, the 30th of April, 2019. Detectives attempt a felony traffic stop on a stolen white Ford F-150, but Daniel Eugene Bolden refuses to stop and accelerates away. The pursuit moves through rural roads as Bolden maintains speed through multiple curves. When a deputy attempts
We got clear road up ahead.
the truck continues through a residential area, striking mailboxes and using the shoulder to bypass traffic.
Alright, we're on 70th Avenue, continuing west. We got cars coming, we're northbound on 150th. Stop sticks were successful.
Officers eventually execute another pit, spinning the pickup into a wooded ditch and ending the vehicle theft auto and 2 counts of petit theft.